Right, if you're happy.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay,
You've obviously got a list of questions you'd like to ask, so that's absolutely fine.
Okay. So, first of all, I mean, if you look at me, not at the camera.
Yeah.
First of all, could you just tell me who you are and how long you've lived on Windmill Hill?
Right. I was trying to think this through to get it sort of right. The best way to put it is, okay, I'll give you a bit of briefing of my family history, shall I?
Yeah.
That would be quite interesting, probably. Okay. Well, I come from two local families. My mother's family all came from Mere. Okay. My father's family were all farmers at Wick, which is just around the road here, as we know. And they sort of so they got married in 57, 56. And then that lasted for about 9 years. They moved away to farm at Chantry, which is just outside of Frome, and then they sort of fell out, as people sometimes do, which isn't so good. So my mother came back to live down here, and I stayed with my father until I think I was about 16. When you leave school, about 16, 17. And then I came and lived with my grandparents at Wick, actually, of all places, on the farm, and helped on the farm there for a while, and done a few bits and bobs. And then I went back, so my father had moved to a different farm, so I went back and helped him out on that farm for a couple of years. Then I decided that farming wasn't really my future, so I done a few other bits and bobs, and then I worked for, what did I do first? I was a salesman, then I was a PR man in Clare's. I would go all over the country at some stage if things were wrong, like I don't know if you know what Clare's equipment were. They manufactured all the shopping equipment. They were on the site where Morrison's are in Wells, and I worked for them for about 7 or 8 years in myriad roles. I worked for everything from assembly to the plating plant, and then doing that, going out all over the country and putting right mistakes that people didn't, and making the managers happy, sort of, or trying to. And yeah, so that was that. And then I moved from that, and I thought, well, I've had enough of this, we better get back to self-employed. So I took on the first cafe, and then I had a cafe, and I had a gift shop in Wells as well at the same time. And then I had another gift shop in Glastonbury as well. And the reality was that didn't pay enough. The cafe was okay, but the rest of it, there isn't enough money in those shops, to be honest with you. Like you end up spending out as much as what you've got coming in, if not more. It's not a very viable thing. And so I dropped all that. And then I done a few other bits and bobs. I've done all sorts of things really. And then I got another cafe in Glastonbury, takeaway one, which was a bit stupid. And that lasted about 2 years, so we got rid of that. And then I decided that we would do this, what I'm doing now, really. Well, I've done loads of other bits and stuff in between. I still do. I will go and help on a farm if they need me. I've got, obviously, my family still farm locally. They've got the biggest herd in the area, which I don't actually think is a good thing, nor do they. But they have to do it because of the way to make any money,
After you lived in Wick, where did you live?
Where did I live in Wick?
After you lived in Wick.
Oh, after I lived in Wick, where did I go from there? I went to North Brewham, and then I came back, and then I moved in with my mum on the hill, which was in Selwood Road of all places. And so I went there for must have been there a couple of years. I was there, and then I was with my girlfriend quite a bit as well at the time. I had a 7-year thing at that time, so I lived with her for quite a bit, but on and off. And then the chance came of one of these houses, because I don't know if you know that these houses here were all they were all the council houses at one stage, But the thing is, they were the last houses built by the old Glastonbury Town Council, Borough Council, before it all went to Mendip. So that must have been 1970. Mendip was formed in 1974. So it must have been 72, 73. I can't remember exactly. No, that can't be quite right. My timings must be out, because I was in that house there, came in as it was brand new. So that was 40. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'd done a stint in IMCO of all places as well. That was 42 years ago. So a little while ago, and but I've been away and come back, and been away and come back, and as you do. And then it got to the stage where really I couldn't go away again for a long time, because my mother needs looking after really, and Dave isn't too sharp as much as he was. So somebody's got to be around to keep an eye on them and make sure that they're okay and get shot. My mum hasn't been out the house properly for 5 years, and because she can't see very much, so she doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue, but we get over it, as everybody else do. Every family gets these issues as we get older. I've got friends who've got very much bigger issues than me to deal with, so I don't moan about that. And yeah, but I also do family history and stuff like that, so that's one of my big ones. I've got a lot. I've got quite, on my father's side, I've got quite a illustrious family history, you know, like, because they came from they were the publishers of Wordsworth and Coleridge, and it's very hard to believe how they ended up here. Because my great grandfather was the black sheep of his family, obviously, and so he disappeared down to Weymouth, and then with his wife, and they came back up here because they bought him out of the farms in Seend. I don't know if you know where Seend is, just outside of Melksham, because we can trace my direct family back to the Normans with a list of names. Amazing. It was all done, that was done by a proper historian, not me, and they gave me the information when I was hunting around in Wiltshire for the staff, and somebody's just sent it over to me, said, you'll be interested in this then. And it was a whole list of my family from the 1600s back through to the Norman Conquest, and then other people knew how to join them up newer, if you know what I mean, nearer to the time. So yeah, so I've got a direct line all the way back to the Norman Conquest that can be proven.
I'm jealous. Yeah.
It's one of those things. That was my dad's, yeah, and they're quite good. If you go to Bradford-on-Avon, you'll see people on the church in the things because of all that and stuff. Yeah, so there's quite a bit going on there in the background, which is good. And
all right.
And then my great grandfather moved here. To Wick. Well, he didn't move to Wick. He had about 6 different farms around the area. He was a bit of a rogue, I think. He just didn't like too much of it. That's my opinion, even in those days. And but he had 13 children, so I'm related to nearly all the farming families here in the whole area. One way or another. If I go back and we do it all, everybody knows, you know. And yeah, I'm sort of related to all of the farming families around and about here, or the vast majority of them anyway. And so it's quite funny, and they don't forget, and they all know and say, "Oh, you're so and so." Yeah, we know who you are, and we know whatever it is. First election I ever had, a story on the hill, is I went to one person's house and I knocked on the door, and they said to me, "Are you, your name's Cottle, are you Charlie Cottle's any relation to Charlie?" I said, "Yeah, he was my great uncle." He said, "You got my vote." And that was that, straight away, you know. But he was one of the people who encouraged the when the first traveller people came here in the 60s. He owned the land in Cinnamon Lane where the play park is now, and he allowed them to put their horses in there and do all the stuff. He was quite keen and quite happy. He didn't worry. They could do what they wanted. He wasn't going to worry about it. And so that was quite good. So he was a bit of a character in there. And
right.
Yeah. So there's a lot, and I've got quite a lot of bits of stuff like that in the family. So coming back to here, so I think that's a bit about me. Is there anything else in particular?
Well, hang on. I mean, that was question one. So.